What's up everybody, RetroWolf88 here. I've got a little bonus video for you today because I purchased both the Bioshock the Collection and Borderlands Legendary Collection for the Nintendo Switch, and I'm here today to tell you, number one, why I bought these two games, as well as how they look and how they run on the Nintendo Switch. So, let's get into it. So let's begin with why I bought these two games on the Nintendo Switch. Well, there's really three reasons why I bought them. First and foremost, I love all of these games. So in the Borderlands Legendary Collection, you have the first Borderlands game, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands the pre-sequel with all DLC, except Borderlands 2 is missing the most recent DLC that came out with it before Borderlands 3. And Bioshock the Collection contains Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite, and all the DLC. So these are all fantastic games. I love all 6 of these games. I've played and beat all 6 of these games, and having them on the Nintendo Switch is awesome because you can play them portably. You can play them in handheld mode. You can take them with you and play them anywhere, and that is a beautiful thing. Yes, I know you can get all of these games cheaper on other consoles. I am aware of that. However, you can't take those other consoles with you and play them anywhere portably like you can on the Nintendo Switch. These games were both $50 a piece, which really is a great deal because you're getting 3 great games here for $50 and all DLC, 3 great games here for $50 and all DLC. And again, I know you can get them cheaper on other consoles, but the thing about it is, ports like these take a lot of work. They take a lot more work than you might think. They have to put a lot of work into optimizing them on the new console and the new hardware. So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be able to charge $50 a piece for each of these. I think it's a great deal personally. It is a little irritating that everything is not on the cartridge. That I would have preferred that instead of having to download most of this stuff. However, still a good deal and I'm happy with it. Now, the second reason why I bought these games is because I was curious as how they would play and look on the Nintendo Switch, both on the TV in docked mode and in handheld mode. And spoiler, I was not disappointed. We'll get into that more in just a moment. And then the third reason why I wanted to purchase both of these is because 2K is finally showing some awesome support for the Nintendo Switch outside of NBA 2K series. The fact that they ported both of these collections onto the Switch is awesome. And I wanted to support them, not only to show them that they can make money by porting and putting games on the Switch, but also they can make money on games that are not riddled with microtransactions. Because 2K is notorious for their microtransactions in a lot of their games, especially their sports games. However, none of these games have microtransactions, they just have DLC. But the great thing about these collections is you don't have to buy the DLC because it's all there. So there's a lot of value here. But yeah, I wanted to show 2K that they can make money without microtransactions, and I think that's an important message to send to these mega game publishers these days, to show them that they can still make money without shoving those freaking microtransactions and in-game purchases in our face. Now, how do these games look and how do they run on the Nintendo Switch? Well, they look and run beautifully. They run smooth as butter. All these games look great on the Switch. I think they all run at a native 1080p, which is great. I'm very happy with that. And they all run at a solid 30 frames per second, which I'm happy with that as well, because for me personally, I've never really cared about frame rate all that much. As long as I get 30 frames per second out of my game and it stays at 30 frames per second, I'm happy. When it drops below 30 frames per second, that's when we have some problems. But as far as getting 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, I could honestly care less. I realize games feel better at a higher frame rate, but I don't play games for the frame rate. I play games to have fun, and I can still have more than enough fun playing a game like this at 30 frames per second. It doesn't have to be at 60 frames per second, especially Bioshock, because Bioshock's not a very fast first-person shooter. Borderlands is not even a very fast first-person shooter. It's not like Doom. Doom, I can understand why you'd want to have it at 60 frames per second. At any rate, I played about 40 minutes of each game, and I noticed no dips in frame rate. The resolution stayed at a solid 1080p. It looked great, it played great, it sounded great, and I also played several of these in handheld mode as well. And although it's a little difficult to play a first-person shooter on the Switch in handheld mode because the sticks are a little bit smaller, it still worked perfectly fine, and once you get used to it, you can play them effectively in handheld mode. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, but mainly I chose to play them in dock mode with a Pro controller because that's the best way to play a first-person shooter on the Switch, I think. So that's basically how I feel about these games. Now, I'm going to show you about 1 minute of just straight up gameplay without me talking from each game so that you can see for yourself how they look and run. So let's go ahead and hop right into that.
Of this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me? What is wrong with you boys? Just kill that slut! Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head. It'll be quick, clean, and a hell of a lot less painful than what Handsome Jack will do to you. Remember when you killed him? That was funny. Just say hi. Killing spree. Damn it! This ain't over, Grinder.
Hey, Hammerlock! Since my minion just saved your town.
Hey! Speak clear! It was me! Kill the birdie guy! Kill the birdie guy! He's out of his power suit! Psycho Dad! And the world just got 25% more heat. Come on! Come on! If you see this face, run! Back here! The real one! Too bad, it's scary, kinda, but cool! Man.
Run, you coward!
Big sister doesn't want you playing with me.
son of a bitch is in the park! Cut him off! Don't let him!
So there you have it, folks. Bioshock the Collection and Borderlands the Legendary Collection on the Nintendo Switch, and how they look and run, which is fantastic. I'm very happy with it. This is how you do ports right on the Switch, people. This is how you do it right, and I recommend purchasing these despite the fact that you can get them cheaper on other consoles, and despite the fact that you have to do additional downloads. That is aggravating, but it's worth your money. It's a good deal if you're a Switch owner, and especially if you've never played these games. It's a great deal. You're getting a great value for your money, and it's a great way to show 2K that they can make money without microtransactions. Let me know in the comments down below if you have purchased or plan on purchasing either of these. Let me know what your experience has been playing with these, and if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe so you can join the RetroWolf family. And until next time, folks, stay safe out there, keep playing games and having a good time, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.